Hey, hello everyone, welcome to today's video. It is the 15th of October. I'm Chris here with Tel Aviv Cafe. Welcome. So let's take a look at the futures market. Have just opened here, and I did not intend to do this video just as they open, but it looks like, just obviously they're just kind of flat, no gaps, no nothing in here. The Nasdaq composite. So what I'll do today is I'll take a look at the indices. We'll jump over to crypto and show you my wave counts in the Nasdaq here and in Bitcoin, and see kind of where we are with everything. And then also we'll take a look at a few stocks of interest. And we're still kind of really contained. This is a daily chart of the Nasdaq, really contained inside this Friday's bar. The fact that would fail to continue to move lower, I guess it's encouraging. I mean, you can see that as I said yesterday, the Russell made a new closing high. It was yesterday, then today made another new closing high. So three pretty powerful moves here in the small caps after a nice three-way setback in here, and there's potential that this can continue to go. The S&P, it's also kind of holding in there. You can see how the 20-day moving average just offers support. I mean, a resistance. So if we can get back above it, I think there's a chance that we can move to new all-time highs. And today was a choppy session too, because at some point, we had a pretty big sell-off, and then so the volatility is kind of high. We're at about 20 in the VIX, which is it's pretty elevated in here historically. So when this happens, moves tend to be a bit bigger. But I'm still fairly. I opened a few new positions. I'm still fairly bullish. I have a couple of shorts on stocks that are weaker, but overall I'm still pretty well invested, and I do have a bit of protection. So I could say that I'm not fully long. If that helps in any way, but I'm still fairly positive. I do think we're going to fall into some kind of a fourth wave in here, and we can go ahead and take a look at it. We've been watching this third wave for a long time in here, and I mean the subdivisions could be unclear. It doesn't matter. What it's interesting is that we basically, if we place a wave 1 there and a wave 1 2 here, I mean, we've gone as high as 261.8, multiple of this wave 1 from the bottom of the wave 2, and we find resistance over there. So in terms of a fib extension, we've gotten pretty extended, and it's kind of a normal setback. I'm assuming that whatever it's happening here, it's going to be a fourth wave. If we make a new high in here right away, that's going to be interesting, because then we might be in another extension. We'll see. We'll deal with that when it happens. Otherwise, we could just be in maybe some kind of an even. I mean, you can even do like a running triangle in here: A, B, C, D, and E, and just chop people up for the next several weeks, and then to go in a final move, and then we do a little bit of a deeper correction. So it's something I'm watching. For right now, as you can see, I'm looking at those moving averages as guides. I'm looking, kind of what's happening with the RSI on a daily, on a weekly basis. I continue to kind of like how this looks. I mean, if we take a look quickly at the weekly time frames, there is really, I mean, with the exception of this week, that's why it's important how we close. If we do close in some kind of a bullish engulfing here, I think that's going to be a signal that there's further upside. And looking at Russell on the weekly, this is already pretty powerful. So I'll continue to kind of tread a little bit lightly, the best I can. I mean, there's just so many nicer setups that are kind of pulling me in, and I have to be careful, because of this volatility, not to get trapped into being long, because then I'm going to waste a lot of mental capital trying to get out of positions in case they don't work out. So that's kind of where my head is at. I guess I'm not maybe that confident in the upside, but I still want to give it a chance here. Best way to put it. So let's see what's going on here in terms of the wave count. So I talked about this one, and I want to show you a Bitcoin. So let's go over, and I'll come back to these to these stocks. But look, it is a I'm slightly disappointed, I must say, that Bitcoin has not continued. I mean, after this initial move, it's really not doing anything wrong, but it's not doing anything good either. The more pressure it puts on this 110 level, the heavier it will get, and if we break below 108, we got a problem, because that correction will probably continue. I'm looking at MSTR as a proxy, because that's a pretty weak stock in regards with everything that's going on, and that's a favorite for shorts. It's if I just briefly look at it, and we'll come back at Bitcoin MSTR. You can see how we're breaking below the 52-week moving average. We're breaking below the 40-week. We are below the 10-week moving average. We have a pretty big rejection from those higher levels there, close towards the lows. So this, you don't want to really spend a lot of time below these levels. And if it's, the RSI is already 41, and if it's anything in here, it really has to react and move back above it. But the longer it stays back here, the worse it is for MicroStrategy. So it's one of my favorite shorts at the moment. I'm going to be careful with it, but I'm just going to tell you where my head is at. And then going back to, I don't know what this means for Bitcoin, if MicroStrategy is giving us any clues or anything like that. But we do have this big level in here, and if we do lose it, we're probably going to retest it and then continue to go. And I don't know what that's going to do to the markets, but listen, bottom line, we're in a very flat formation. It could go either way. It's very choppy. There is no edge in here. Bottom line, there's no edge. There's not much to do. So when I look at the wave count, where are you? Oh, back here. When I look at the wave count, I continue to like this flat formation, with the eventual push higher. But like I said many times, the wave count, it is what it is. The price has to confirm. And following a flat and a sharp wave C, you want to see buying coming in, and you wanted to see something like this continues and continues and continues, right? And eventually breaks, and it goes much stronger. The fact that it's holding up here and it's not doing anything, it gives me a little bit of a cause for concern. So we'll see. Maybe, I hate to say it, maybe this wave C it's not done yet, and it's just wave 1 of C, and you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this wave 2, extends lower, and this, but it's just, you would be something. I don't want to, create unnecessary, fear over here, or anything like that. It's just a pure speculation on my part. I'm not saying this will happen, but I guess it would be something I would be looking at. I don't think there's just enough room for a 3, 4, and 5 with the A wave that's so short. So I think my thinking there is not, or kind of my alternate. It's not right. So anyway, we'll see what's going on in here. I will continue to just wait. There's not much to do. If Bitcoin breaks below those levels, it's anybody's game. And, until it cracks back above the levels that I want, which is, eventually get me back above 117, start trading with a more positive momentum, there's not much I want to do. Let's see, how it is on the weekly. Again, I like that 50 RSI. I like the setback in here, but look, the last thing I want is for this candle to continue lower. I want to see a white one turning and making a new high, or at least holding. And I'm a bit concerned about this guy back here, right about this failed move, above this right here. Okay, sometimes that could be a big signal that we have trapped people over there, but we're not selling lower, because if people are trapped, it should be much faster of a decline. So definitely we're in a big tug of war here in Bitcoin, and I wanted to see kind of who wins. Again, I don't want to step in front of it until I see a better signs. So that's kind of my quick analysis on Bitcoin. Take it for what it's worth here, but we'll see. I'll continue to keep an eye on it, and definitely on MSTR. Now, a couple of stocks that piqued my interest today, and it's Flex. This one I got long today just on the breakout. It does look interesting. I think this is, maybe it's another energy play, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the RSI in here, how it's still in a positive territory. We're in a pretty beautiful uptrend. This looks like a wave 2 and another wave 2 in here. So if it's a 1-2, 1-2, we could be at the beginning of a much larger explosion upwards. Because of this candle right here, you don't see today's volume, but today's volume was pretty large. I would almost have to go to maybe like a 1 month chart to see it. Let's go to a 3 month. Yeah, you see, I mean when you see a breakout in volume like this, I think that's pretty powerful, and it merits attention. And I'm going to do another video on a different day, and I'll show you kind of what happened in a stock that had a similar thing. I stayed with it for a little while, and then I'll show you that story, because it's very cool. And then the other one is VST, Vistra Energy. It's another one that looks interesting, again in some kind of a 1-2, 1-2 in here. And yeah, I'm waiting for it to see if it can start to break above these levels. It tried right there, and it shook people out, and now we're coming back again. The RSI is a bit sloppier, but again, if you look at the volume, so if I come on a 3-month chart, look at the volume that kind of came in today above average volume on this kind of mini breakout, but it's got a bit more to go. But I do like it, so we'll see what happens there. Definitely one that I like. And then we have a GE, which is very tight. RSI is just beautiful, above 50. Clean uptrend, just kind of consolidating, not giving anything back. There is not a lot of volume here, but we'll see if they try to do it tomorrow. Maybe it'll be the next move to the upside. I think they probably have earnings soon. And then the last one is Google, which is a beautiful ABC in here, right into the 50 RSI. Great move. Is this another X wave? We'll see, but I'm willing to probably give it a try on this break. We'll see. I think tomorrow might give it a signal, and see if we can take it higher. All right, so that's kind of my thoughts on today. Thanks for watching, as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.